so alive.
Men and a presenter, Sean Pollock, Ramiz Raja, Dean Elgar's joined us, Graham Smith, and I'm here as well. A fine victory for South Africa, some excellent cricket on an awkward surface, a 6-wicket win. Interesting pitch to bat on, Dean.
Yeah, awkward is, I guess, the flavour of the day as a word, but yeah, it's hard work out there. Pakistan have really brought a serious bowling attack as well, and when you're playing on wickets that is assisting the bowlers, it's going to be hard work for us batters. But saying that, we got a great result, and going to Cape Town 1-0 is an awesome achievement for us.
Did the pitch get any easier? The first morning it looked pretty hard for the Pakistan batsmen, then you had issues, but there was a little more sort of moist green around those plate cracks. Any easy today?
I think when the intensity weared off and there was a partnership with bat in hand, it was maybe a little bit easier to bat on. But I think the minute you put a little bit of extra pace and hit the areas a little bit harder, it was a lot tougher.
Yeah, and a lot to be said for your bowling attack. We've talked about Dale Steyn. Let's focus on him first, because you came into the side with him by no means past his best, but not the cricketer he was when Graham and Sean first saw him. Even so, at the age of 35, he can turn it on.
I think a lot of people wrote him off with his big setback injury that he had. But Dale's a quality professional cricketer. He's still as fit as ever. I think he's fitter now than he was a couple of years ago. But yeah, this monkey on his back was there for quite a long time, and I'm very pleased for him to have the record passing Polly's record, which is a serious effort, and massive credit to Dale for remaining the person he is, and he seriously deserves everything.
What a moment, Graham.
What a moment, and I was joking with you before the test match about your little hands and taking the catch, and you got the big moment at third slip. Were you quite relieved to hang on to that one?
I was quite happy because I dropped Dale's 400th catch in Bangladesh, so I was like quite relieved to get his record for him. It was actually something that I dreamt about 2 days before the test. I told my people at home that I'm actually dreamt that I'm going to catch Dale's 422 wickets, and there it was.
So let's talk about this body of yours, my man. The tough guy of South African cricket doesn't get to wear bandages and stuff. You've taken a few blows on these arms and gutsed out a bit of time at the top of the order. How's the body?
Yeah, I'm a little bit over it at the moment. Luckily, there's a few days before the Cape Town test, which I'm certainly going to be icing it, either with a beer or ice pack. Either way, it's going to be rightly deserved. But yeah, it's tough. I think that's the nature of our wickets as well. And when you're facing quality seamers, this is what you're up against. And it's highly average, and it's not for anyone.
Tell us, you're going to go to Cape Town now. Do you feel you've got something on Pakistan with this win, or are they the sort of side that is so unpredictable that you suddenly might find them at their best in Cape Town?
I hope they're not in their best in Cape Town, but I do think we didn't play potentially to our best yet. I think we're still a couple of maybe 20-30% behind the game we actually want to play. So that's positive signs for us. Whether Pakistan can improve or not, that's not for us to worry about. We feel that we can obviously improve on a lot of areas within this test. Even though we won it in 3 days, we don't have complacency. So I think that's a massive strength for us, and I'm sure we're going to analyse going forward.
One thing you would worry about is Hashim Amla's form. Did you see enough today to think that he's on the way back?
I've never ever been worried about Hashim Amla's form. He's a legend. He's an absolute true professional, and we knew a good knock's around the corner. And what we see in pro cricket is you're only one knock away from being in form again, and it was awesome signs for us that Hash was able to get through today, which was quite tough.
Very tough. You managed to play some exciting strokes yourself. It's good to be in form, to take the bruises and to earn every single run you get, isn't it?
I mean, that's Test cricket, and that's what makes it so exciting. For me, it's the ultimate format still, and it's the bruises heal and the memories will always last forever. But these are the kind of knocks you do for your country, and I know the guys in that change room there are extremely proud of what I do, and taking the knocks on the body is obviously one of those things. But I know they're sitting up there and they're grateful for what I do.
Beautiful. I think you should go and celebrate with them now. Enough of us. Over to you guys.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well,
thanks, Dean. Well played, boy.
Great to have Dean Elgar with us, actually. He talks so well about the game. Let's talk for a moment about the Pakistan attack that he's just referred to. And my question, does a defeat hurt Pakistan, or are they so unpredictable, so mercurial, as we always say, that actually they could well turn up in Cape Town and be the best they can be?
They look at lost opportunities, I think, Mark. There's a possibility of bossing this test match if they could have just hung in there for another hour with the bat. And, with Pakistan, it's their batting issue. Nothing to do with the bowling performance because bowlers were outstanding. I think they need to find space for Yasir Shah. I think he could still be valuable even on these pitches. And we know that at Cape Town, the ball will spin. It will do something for Yasir Shah, so it's got to be kept in mind. But overall, Pakistan would be ruining the fact that they just didn't bat properly. Pakistan can bounce back, clearly, because away from home, they tend to play well as a unit. I think that is what Mickey Arthur would be harping on the spirit, on the good little points that they would have earned through this contest, even though he would feel that there was an opportunity missed.
Sean, we'll come to you about Duanne Olivier, but before we do, we have to just refer to your unusual dress sense.
Yeah, thank you to the Proteas. Proteas have sorted me out with a running repair for my split pants in the little fielding exercise we did.
Graham, calm down. Anybody not with us earlier today, in the lunch break, we did a little slip catching demo, and I'm afraid the pants split. And boy, did they split, let me tell you, right down to the back of the knee. This wasn't just a little tweak in there of a thread or two.
Best bit of live television ever. Seriously.
Oh, my word, it made my day, I promise.
Come on, we've got to watch it. Chuck a man
in the build-up,
cat.
my stress levels over tearing my pants were enormous.
Yeah.
No, laughing at my expense. Nothing's changed.
And Smithy checked you out as well.
The problem
I was glad Polly wore jocks today. Otherwise, it would have been a hell of a surprise.
At this stage, I thought a couple of threads had gone. Then a moment later, when I saw the whole tear, I thought, no, that's just too good to be true. Comedy gold from Sean Pollock. What about Duanne Olivier? This is a remarkable match. An 11-wicket haul for a cost of less than 100 runs. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's had a few opportunities to play for South Africa, and he's learned a lot from those. He goes away back to the provincial scene, and he has to try and work out his game plan and how he's going to be effective if he gets another chance. And he was absolutely superb in this match. I mean, to pick up 11 wickets is a serious achievement. A man who probably wasn't in the mix until just a few days ago, and Vernon pulls out. He gets his opportunity. And as we're watching his highlights, Otis Gibson has joined us, and he predicted. I spoke to him before the match, and I said, who's going to get all your wickets? And he said Doozle. I didn't know who Doozle was until he explained his nickname. And it was Doozle who came through. He picked up the 11. And I think this wicket suited his game plan. He loves to run in, bang it back over length, and then try and make the batsman jump around. And this kind of service, which was up and down, played right into his game plan. And he was effective. He played his role. We saw Faf describe him as the enforcer throughout this game. And he did exactly that. And anyone who picks up 11 wickets in a test match is a serious effort. And for a man who's just back in the mix, he's got to go away. And I don't think he'll stop smiling until the new year.
Yeah, I mean, I've always felt that a bowling attack, for all the value of the pitch-it-up, skiddy swing bowlers, if you've got somebody in there who hits the pitch hard, keeps coming at you, bowls good overs at the end of the day, every bit as good as at the beginning of the day, makes a heck of a difference. Otis, thanks for coming to have a chat. A terrific performance. Let's start with Duanne, or Doozle.
Doozle is the name. Look, we came a couple of days ago. First of all, he played at the Mzansi and he was going really well. And I wanted to pull him from the 4-day game to give him a rest. He said, no, I prefer the bowl, coach. I get my sort of rhythm and my confidence from bowling. He went and played a 4-day game against Faf. Faf came back and said he's bowling very well. And then we had a couple of days practice here in the middle. And I watched him bowl. Very accurate, but hitting the pitch quite hard. When I looked at the surface here with the grass, the first day I said to Sean, I think he's a guy that you got to watch out for. Because the grass, the ball is going to get some extra bounce, and he's always at you. And it turned out that he did exactly that, So, fair play to him. He's done the work, and it was fantastic.
He's made a heck of a selection problem for you.
Well, we'd rather have it this way than the other way. We got him, we got Vernon, we got Dale, we got KG. Lungi's just been up there now. And it's a healthy thing to have, Obviously, that's the sort of cricket that we want to play. We want to play cricket with 4 fast bowlers if we can, and wickets perhaps not as doing as much as the first day, but over the course of the last 2 days it flattened out a bit. We want to play that sort of cricket. I still go back to the game in Cape Town last year against India, where the pitch had a little bit in it and the game was exciting for 3.5 days. And that's how I think Test cricket should be played.
And we've talked just now, actually, about Dale. It is quite a thing, isn't it, to come back after a serious injury and bowl again at genuine pace when you're 35 years old.
Yeah, and he's had 2 years out. So really, in bowling years, he's only 33. He's had 2 years out, but he's still hungry. He's been hungry since I've got here. We've been texting and stuff. He genuinely wants to play, and not just for the record, but he wants to take wickets for South Africa, and he works very hard. We've had a lot of conversations around how we're going to manage him in terms of workload and all the rest of it. And he's 35, but he wants to play every game, and sometimes we have to sit him down and explain that it's not perhaps possible in the system that we have, and we will have to rotate our seamers so that everybody gets some game time and so on. But the other thing that you don't see from Dale is the stuff behind the scenes where he's talking to Duanne, he's talking to KG, he's passing on what he's learned from. I would imagine he would have learned some stuff from Polly and from Alan Donald in his younger years. He's passing on all that information as well, So that's the other side of him that makes him such a special bowler.
We talked about the selection dilemma. Now you're going to have man who's got man of the match. You've got Vernon probably going to be back in the mix. Last season, you guys tended to go towards 6 batsmen, including Quinny at number 6, Vernon at 7, and then the bowlers to have that extra option. As a test match, it comes around pretty quickly. Yes, you've got an extra few days off. Yeah. Does that kind of thinking come to the fore, or are you still maybe prepared? I'm not saying you have to give us your team, but just give us where your thinking's at.
Oh, well, it gives us options. Last year we used it, and it worked out well for us against Australia. I like the option of an extra bowler. Cape Town, I'm told, is like 34 degrees or whatever this week, and so on. So I like that option. But all things being equal, last year we had AB in the team. Hash was in a little bit better shape than he's been in this year. He's played really well today, and that's good for us going forward. But the batting as it is at the moment, and I keep saying to them, we don't need to get to like 300s and 350s if we got 4 strike bowlers. But we'll see what we see when we get to Cape Town. We see what the wicket is going to offer us, and then we'll make a decision. But like I said, we have options, and we won't rule out one or the other.
But it is important that someone, for example, like Hash gets a 60 not out, and we also saw Quinny get to 40. Yeah. It just can make that decision, if you have to go that route, a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure. And Hash getting some runs today, and I'm speaking to him constantly, and he hasn't had the scores, but he says he's feeling really good. He thinks that a score is just around the corner, and if the best batsman in your team is telling you that, then you have to back him, and everybody in the dressing room certainly backs Hash for sure.
Okay, I want to keep you just for one more thing. Are you happy to stay a second to show some of KG's wickets in this match, and for you to talk a little bit about the skill in this guy and what you like to work with most?
Look, KG, I've described him before as a bit of a sponge. He loves information. He's very intelligent. Some batsmen will say he's probably too intelligent to be a fast bowler, but he's very intelligent. He picks up things very quickly. And I think I've said this before when I spoke to him about what he wants from his career. He said he never said he wanted to be the best bowler in South Africa. That was almost a given. He says he wants to be the best in the world, and he's picking up information all the time. We talk all the time, even passing on things that I learned from my hero and Polly's hero, Malcolm Marshall, talking about differences in angles and stuff like that, and he's thirsty for that sort of knowledge, and he's I describe him as a bit of a scientist, so he likes to work things out in his own mind. You might give him an idea now, he might not roll with it immediately, but he goes away and think about it, and when he comes back, he understands it in his own way, and then he can apply it, which makes him such a special bowler, and I think obviously Dale's got the record now, but if he stays fit, then I can see that he's quite likely to go past that record.
Great, lovely to chat to you. Thanks for your time. We look forward to seeing you around the traps. We'll get on the course somewhere with a bit of luck.
I'm sure we will.
But well done, fine win.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
We'll do it.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Yeah, thanks, Otis. Have a happy New Year. See you in Cape Town.
Go well.
Graham, he's in here. Let's talk about temper. Because you've used a phrase that I'm going to keep coming back to, and I think it's such a key thing for a batsman, tempo.
Absolutely, and I think he got it perfectly right in this game. I think towards the end of last year, well, let's say the beginning of this year, Australia were here, and I just felt he got stuck at times, just couldn't balance that attacking shot with the ones, the twos, and it was taking him a long time to get to totals of substance. And I think today, and in this test match, it was beautiful to watch. He came out with intent. His running between the wickets was great. He had a real clear mindset, and the timing was there. And there were moments where Yasser Shah came on. He was proactive. He used the sweep shot well. He played with his lengths. And that shows me a guy, one, that's got confidence, and two, that he's thought about how he wants to go about things, and he's able to put it into play out in the middle.
No, it wasn't a scratchy innings also. I mean, it's very neat and clean, tidy innings on a difficult pitch. Hardly any edges. You saw him use the middle of the bat most times, and his footwork was brilliant as well, and clarity of thought. I thought against Yasser Shah, it was beautiful to watch him use his feet, because I've seen batsmen being deceived by Yasser even on flat tracks. And here was a guy who hasn't played him much, sweep him with purpose and then drive him beautifully. So, it looked to be in complete control. Of all the batsmen, he was the best.
Yeah, for me, there's been two things. Prif touched on the tempo of his innings in England, and when he got back here, his percentage of dot balls was much higher than anyone else in the South African team. And when you bat in that middle order, there's not those big gaps like when you come up front. He is now piercing the infield. He was also getting onto that front foot. Sometimes he got caught in the back foot. He's a little guy, plays most of his shots off the back foot. But the commitment and getting the weight transference onto the front foot and whacking it through the covers, I think those are key moments. Because when you pitch a little bit fuller, because he's shorter, if he can punish you, it gives you something to think about. So I think those are the two areas that impressed me the most.
Such is the confidence in him at the moment too. He hit a cover drive on the way to winning the game, and he kind of held the pose, as if to say, I'm the boss. And that's how he batted in this match. It was very impressive. I want to indulge for a moment too with Quinton de Kock, because we've got used to the counter-attacking Quinton de Kock, with which he's made his name, but he showed us here that he's got a lot more game than just the counter-attack.
I've had a few conversations in the media about Quinny, and I think he's just an outstanding cricketer. He's got a good record. He's produced incredible international performances already in his short career, but he's now a senior player in the squad, and you want to see him recognising situations and stepping up, becoming a consistent match winner, not just that talented guy that can produce incredible knocks. And I think he's added some thought to it. I think in this innings, what was noticeable for me, he looked a lot more assured in his defensive play, a lot more confidence of his defensive play, which naturally he's going to score. He's just a unique time over the ball, a positive mindset, so he's always going to score freely. And I think just adding a bit of thought to his game, a bit of consistency, and to see him grow into that player that goes to the next level, because he has the ability to be a player that's the next level player. And that's what he's got. And you want to see him achieve that talent, or achieve that standard out in the game.
All right, well, let's turn our attention to Pakistan, because it's not all doom and gloom. I know that Ramiz has highlighted, and we're all aware that the Pakistan batting isn't as strong as the Pakistan bowling. Having said that, there's talent there, and it was led in the first innings by Babar Azam, who may just be making the jump now from promise to performance.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely enjoy his batting, because like Bavuma, his balance is so good. And I thought that counter-attack which he delivered against Dale Steyn was sheer quality. 10 fours?
That period, 10 fours and 3
10
overs.
fours in 3 overs was just a flawless period for him and for Pakistan. And he stamped his authority. I think if Pakistan can take a leaf out of his book and be aggressive and be sensible and look to back yourself, I think on a pitch like this, you've got to be doing that. Put the bad balls away and hope for the best. And if you can take out the pull shot as well, I think you can be a success here in South African pitches. But overall, a very good player, very solid player, and I see him progressing to number 3 spot. I think that is where he should be in this batting lineup.
Sometimes the subcontinent teams, they come here and they do accumulate runs, but they almost don't have a presence at the crease. Yeah. I felt in that first innings he had a presence, particularly in that spell against Dale Steyn, where he was putting the ball away. You thought to yourself, gosh, this oak is in control, and he can go on to get a big score. I think Masood also had a little bit of presence in his second innings. So I think that and the other 50, they got 3 of their batsmen got 50. They have to be able to build on that. It'll be a better surface as well. I think you've got to be fair to them. That wasn't an easy surface to bat on, particularly in foreign environment that they've come into. But I expect better in Cape Town.
This is Shan Masood now, tall and slim and able to play all the strokes and particularly take on the short ball, such a valuable thing if you're going to bat in the front 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult position to bat at number 3 in South Africa and playing for the first time here against quality bowling attacks. So he would have been under a lot of pressure, because he was a last-minute inclusion. He wasn't supposed to be in the playing 11. Haris Sohail was always supposed to play in the middle order. But they've used his form. He's been in prolific form in the A games against New Zealand, against Australia. And they played 3 openers, which I think made a lot of sense in the end. Because against fast bowling of quality on such pitches, you need to have 3 proper openers tackling the issue. And he looked solid. I mean, he got behind the line of the ball, he looked sturdy, he looked determined, and a lot to look forward to.
3 pull shots from him were the key for me. Full control, got up, bang. Wasn't like, I'm just trying to get it out the way. He looked like he was confident. I think those are a good sign.
And then, okay, 3 pull shots are the key with that. I'm thinking Imam Ul-Haq, who got so tucked in behind the ball. You know, we see a lot of subcontinental opening batsmen, when the ball moves around a bit, play away from their body. The hands get away from the body. They get a bit stuck on the crease. I loved his body shape. I thought he really looked a competitor. Is that fair from a new ball bowler?
It is. I mean, I watched him closely. I think there was a drop catch in the innings, and the first 3 boundaries went through third man area. But once he got through that initial period, which was going to be hard, the hardest time to bat there was with the new ball on that surface. Once he got through that period, he definitely looked like he was in control and knew what he was doing. So I'd still be wary with the new ball. I'd still be fancying myself against him, knowing that if he gets in, he can be a problem.
He looks like a player that thinks about his game a little bit, not a natural talent and ability. He's had to work out angles, work out how he's going to go about it, and he's a hard-working batsman. I think Pakistan needs someone like him, and they probably were relieved to see him get runs at the top order. He looks hungry, determined to be successful. He had an opportunity at 100 for 1 to really put a nail in. He'd be disappointed that he got out right then at that moment, but he's got a knock under his belt in South Africa now. It's not going to get more challenging than this surface. Cape Town might have a bit of nip and swing and whatever, but it's never going to be more challenging than what they faced here at Centurion.
I think he can complement Fakhar Zaman 100%, because he's the guy who likes to go after it. And if he's just going to be prepared to occupy the crease and you've got a guy attacking at the other end, that might actually become a very good partnership as they develop.
Just before we go to the bowlers, I want to pick up on one small thing you've touched upon, and I don't think it's a criticism, but I want to be sure it isn't. The pitch. Do you think that pitch is just too bowler friendly?
It was actually, but you've got to deal with the situation. It's like, complaining about a square turner back home. Because that's how you win matches at home. And so South Africa prepared a pitch that suited their style of play. And so you've got to deal with it. I thought Pakistan were reasonably competitive in this contest. I mean, the bowlers bowled beautifully. They adjusted to the line and length and the challenge and all, because they could have easily replicated what South Africans were producing with the ball, but South Africa were quicker, 145 plus. And so that would have backfired if they'd gone for that shorter length. So they still persisted with a subcontinent line, which was to pitch the ball up, and it did work. It's only the batting that needs fine-tuning.
Yeah, I mean, and in truth, had a catch been caught and a decision gone their way, South Africa would have been 19 for 3 in the run chase, and we might have a different story to tell. So, all right, good sort of honest response there. A couple of good seamers. I mean, I'm very impressed with Shaheen Afridi. He's got pace, he's got a brain on him, he's got bounce, he's a big tall guy, and he's got big heart.
Yeah, I mean, he sets his own feel at 18, Polly. That is big deal. He's just got this feel for bowling, actually. You give him the ball and he'll create angles and lengths.
Malcolm Marshall kept telling us to set our own fields at 18. I was petrified to do so. I was like, whatever you want to do. But it does show a lot of confidence. And I think it goes for him coming through the ranks, playing the under-19 tournaments. But he's definitely got a little bit of X factor. It's always the wrist position as well. It's not just a normal wrist that comes over. There's a bit of a flick to it, and that creates a little extra bit of balance, extra bit of pace. And if he gets the ball swinging into the right hand, he's even going to be more of a handful. So I think that's a real prospect for you guys. You keep producing them. Where do you get them from?
My apologies.
It's likely, I suppose, that the 2 left armers will play in Cape Town, Shaheen Afridi and Mohamed Amir, and then Mohamed Abbas will be back instead of Ali Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan Ali.
And did you play against Mohamed Amir when he began?
I did. Yeah, I played against him when he was early on in his career. he's always had the skill. I think the skill level's always been there. Obviously, a young man needs to grow sort of the thought process of how to bowl, and that developed. I think at the moment he's probably just lost a little bit or yard of pace, maybe that extra zip. So you see a lot of batters batting out the crease, trying to negate his swing and his skill level. But he was still effective in this game. He controlled things for Pakistan, picked up 4 wickets in the first innings. Bowled beautifully with Hassan Ali in the new ball section here this morning, and it's important. I think Abbas will come in for Hassan Ali. For me, that'll be the change. I think Hassan Ali struggled with the older ball. I thought with the new ball he was okay, but as the ball got older, it looked like he lacked a bit of penetration for me.
Right. And any other changes? Would you agree with that change for a start?
Yeah, I'd go for that change.
A new batsman somewhere?
New batsman, Sachafi is not looking great, so take him out. Ease him out. Haris Sohail in. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe Fakhar Zaman, I'm not too sure. There's a question mark regarding his ability on such pitches. So get Shan Masood to open with Imam ul Haq and get an all-rounder there. Fahim Ashraf is pretty decent with bat and ball. They want to strengthen a bit of their batting, Pakistan, in that test match. So maybe get an all-rounder in there. Or Shadab, even Shadab.
I was going to say Shadab. Yeah. I like him. I think he's a very exciting cricketer. Okay, well, Otis has given us a bit of a clue. It is possible that South Africa will think about 4 seamers, which I suppose if Vernon came back instead of Tienus de Bruin, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Tienus, what's he averaging? I think it's 21 or 22 in Test cricket, and he hasn't really got a score in both innings here. You almost look at, well, maybe Vern can get us 20 or 30, and that's the replacement, plus we get the bowling option. So if I had to make a bet now, I say Vern comes back in front of place of Tienus de Bruin, and they stick with the man of the match.
I'd be really surprised if they go that way. I just think there's not enough confidence in that batting lineup at the moment. I think if they had a top 6 that would had experience, had lots of runs under the belt, I think that would be the decision to make. I think runs on the board for this team with the bowling attack is key. I think for me it'll be just a straight swap. Unfortunately for Duanne, he's come in for a world-class fast bowler who's been around. His record in Cape Town is incredible. Vernon, for me, comes in as a straight swap for Duanne. It is harsh. We all know that's been the policy that South Africa have operated on for a long period of time now, created some consistency in selection, and I just think that's what they'll do.
I don't think they'll do that. The only reason why is I think the X factor of running in and bowling hostile, I think they want to try and keep that element going forward, and I think they just, as I was saying to Otis, I think the performance of Quinton getting a 40, Hashim getting a 60, just pushes it over the line. We'll see. Okay, it's on. Let's see.
You just want another Test 100, Polly. I know you.
I think I'm more with Polly than
all
Graham.
rounder always. You know that with Polly.
So how many fast bowlers will we have for Cape Town? 4. I mean, I think 4 would be good enough. Yeah, I was just wondering about how to manage 4 fast bowlers in a Test match. So that wouldn't be difficult.
We've got also there's 4 oldish. There's 2 oldish ones there that like to bowl certain amounts of spells. Yeah.
Short.
We've also got a third Test coming up quickly.
And think how fit and fresh Vern's going to be as well. Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you. Great fun. Lovely to chat. We're at Cape Town, the New Year Test on January the 3rd or 4th. One of the great venues, Newlands. We can't wait together. Always well supported and always a festive feel to that occasion. Well, the news here is that South Africa have won inside 2.5 days. A terrific performance. I'm very impressed with the way they did the job on a pitch that, as Rameez has pointed out, certainly offered help. So thank you to Sean and to Rameez and to Graham and to all our commentary team and all our production team. This is a great venue. We've had glorious weather. We can't wait to get down to Cape Town in the knowledge that South Africa are 1-up courtesy of a 6-wicket victory here at SuperSport Park. From all of us, goodbye. Boxing Day morning at Centurion SuperSport, alive with the game we love. Great excitement up here, particularly I think for Dale Steyn, who's on 421 Test match wickets. That is level with Sean Pollock. He takes another today. He becomes the highest wicket taker in South Africa's cricketing history. It puts him amongst the immortals of the game.
Edge done by 422 for this team.
And Sean has to say, well played, matey. You're the modern master.
Long live the king.
Bruce Oxmanford doesn't agree with me. South Africa having a fabulous Boxing Day morning.
Bowled him, there's the rattle. That is really good stuff from Olivier. He's got himself 5 for.
Doesn't make any difference. Glorious batting from Babar Azam.
Congratulations to Duanne Olivier. 6 for 37.
Pakistan bowled out for 181.
Gone. There's another one. Belatedly tried to take the bat away. And it's Shaheen Afridi.
Another glorious day, very hot forecast, lovely skies, cricket lovers settling into their seats. This is a Boxing Day test match, perfectly set up. A reminder of where we are. There's an advantage of 54 for the Pakistan side.
Shot. A great start then for Temba Bafuma. 4 runs. Looks so good driving, Temba Bafuma. There's another one out of the cupboard.
Sliced away, back with a square on the offside. That's gone for 4. Good stuff from Bafuma. There's a neck and there's a wicket. So that's the end of Temba Bafuma. He's played so well. Afridi has done a really good job.
This game is tantalizingly poised. Beautifully poised.
South Africa all out for 223. I guess 42 ahead. It is advantage South Africa, but it's not a big advantage.
There's the neck, and it's down. Amla, first slip. And that is a beautiful cover drive. That is superbly played. That is a top shot. Bowled him, got him, Rabada. He's one of those guys that he can make an important breakthrough, and he's done it again.
That's a magnificent stroke, set up for the short ball.
Yes. Oh, wow. What a catch. That is excellent at short leg. Aiden Markram juggled it a few times, but in the end, held on for Duanne Olivier's 5th.
Just 149 to win the game. It's barely believable because the Pakistanis have been bowled out for 190. At one stage, 101 for 1.
Give them a sniff, Pakistan, in times past, and with this side, with their skillful men, they're able to just take that and run. Oh, that's close, that's out. There's the first one for Pakistan.
Every ball will feel like a major event right now.
There's an edge and almost taken. Almost taken. That was really good reflex. It went very quickly indeed. To have the awareness, to have a second grab as well.
Bit of luck going South Africa's way.
There's an edge and it's carried, I think. Dean Huger is starting to walk away. The catch has been taken. Is there a finger or two well enough underneath that?
A lot of luck going South Africa's way. And suddenly a whole lot more luck going South Africa's way.
Pakistan look absolutely startled at that result.
Drama aplenty through the first hour of play. We've had just about everything this morning. 4 runs off that thick outside edge. 4 more. Just going Hashim's way a bit here.
A wonderful straight drive for 4. To bring up 50 for Dean Elgar. The winning runs, a sweep for 4 off the bat of Temba Bafuma, brings victory to South Africa, and they go 1 up in the 3-match series, winning by 6 wickets.